Welcome to Gentle Yoga and Pilates Fusion. I will be using props like bolsters and blocks in terms of yoga, and as far as Pilates, I won't be incorporating bands or balls or anything like that. So you're welcome to add those into your practice if you have them and you want to add those, go for it. Otherwise, this practice will be a blend of yoga and Pilates in between themselves. So versus going yoga then Pilates and vice versa, there will be a fluidity of different movements that are brought both from yoga and Pilates, and for a rounded and kind of a yin-yang practice. So I'd like to start at the top of the mat, and we'll just get a little more grounded into our feet. Turn the toes out a little bit, have your feet a little bit wider than your hips width apart. Slightly bend the knees, engaging the quads and the legs, and then start to feel down through the base of the big toe and baby toe and the circle of each heel. Tip your pelvis slightly forward as you lengthen your tailbone back, and you can place your hands for a moment over your belly and your abdomen as you draw your ribs in, firming everything back towards front to back. And then keep that as the shoulders roll back a little bit and lengthening up to the crown of your head. Let your palms face forward and let them settle. Feel all the sensations of your toe mounds and your feet into the earth, and how the energy by pressing down slightly and bending into those knees can help to contract a little bit up to the inner thighs, engage the outer hips and glutes a bit more, and then continue finding that rebound effect. On an inhale, feel the breath enter the nostrils down through the spine. Notice how it lifts the rib cage, expands the rib cage. And as you exhale, the shoulders settle down. Diaphragm settles. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Take your hands on your hips, and from there, just start to gently tip your pelvis forward and backward in space. And feeling the connection here between the abdominals and your lower rib cage, knitting in to firm around the lower abdominals, transverse abdominals, six-pack, rectus abdominals. And then at the same time, lift the chest. As you lift the chest up, the tailbone reaches back. And so there's almost like an accordion structure, kind of rib cage engagement happening here, waking up the flexion and the extension of our spinal column. Once you come back to neutral here, let your hips come to the right and your torso come to the left, and keep everything engaging in the legs, even if you start to go off to one side. And then come back to center and go over to your right. Then inhale, come on back to center. Good. From here, we'll start to take a little hip circle. So let your hips go in one direction, back and around, accentuating out through your hips and your pelvis. And then go the other way. And come back into neutral. Find somewhere in between all of those points of interest. Shift your weight into your left foot now and lift your right heel off the ground. Really press into your right toes. And then lower your right heel down and shift. Weight to the right, lift your left heel off the ground. Push down through your toes, wake up to your calves, and then exhale, lower the heel. Good, lift both of your heels off the ground and lift up. Exhale, contract your pelvic floor, firm your ribs in, puff up your back body as you exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Noticing the articulation as you unstick the heel, and 1 millimeter at a time, you start to strengthen in through your toe mounds, pulling up to the inner thighs and up into the pelvis, out through the crown of the head. And exhaling, letting the heel stick back down. Good. Inhale, lift up one more time. Now, as you exhale, reach your arms forwards. Bend your knees and sit your hips down a little bit lower. Inhale, lower. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower, rooting down through your tailbone, lengthening out through the crown of the head here. And exhale, lift. Once more, inhale, lower. And exhale, lift. Peel your heels down. Coming back to equal weight into both feet. Good. From there, shift your weight into your left foot, brushing your right heel in like you're about to kick a soccer ball, and bring your right knee up and towards your chest and towards the hips. Extend your right leg forward, pointing the toes here, keeping balance into your left foot, lift up to the crown of your head. As you exhale, bend your right knee, and then place the right foot back down to the right. Shift your weight to your right foot as you inhale, sweep the left inner edge of the foot in and up into your hip height. Find your balance, claw them out with your right toes, beam down through your heel. And then exhale, extend the foot and point the toes. Bring it back down and to the left, and bring it back down into your stance. One more like that, shift your weight into your left foot, bring your right heel in and up, engaging your leg muscles on all sides, pointing the toes, keep your nice long crown of the head. Exhale, draw it back, placing the foot down to the toes and to the heels. Good, shift your weight to your right, brushing through the inner edge of the left foot, in and up. Pointing the toes, extend the leg, and brush it back down into the left. From there, inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Bending the elbows here, exhale, send your hips back, tend your tailbone behind you, and fold forward and down to the ground. Take a moment here to feel the shift in energy into your forward fold. Spread your toes, lift them up again off the mat, and feel your big toes come down and your pinky toes come down. So keep the middle 3 toes lifted. Try to lower down 1 toe at a time and just start to articulate through the feet. Good. And then from there, take your hands to your shins or to your knees and inhale, lift your chest halfway lift. Exhale, reach the chest forward, bow yourself down, place your hands off the feet. Interlace your hands behind your backs here, bending the elbows and reach the arms behind you back to the wall and up to the ceiling. So your shoulders stay integrated into your back, lifting the arms back and bow the chest down to your thighs. Release your hands down towards the ground. Find another halfway lift. You can tent your fingertips on the floor in front of you. Engage in the abdominals. Keep reaching your hips back, sternum forward and down. Take your right hand outside of your left shin calf and reach your left arm up for a twist to your left. Roll your shoulders back, press down to the feet. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, rotate a bit more. Keep pulling your ribs in through the energy of the right hand, pushing into the left leg, and that energy going up through your left fingers, sensing that quality of presence. Breathe in. Exhale, breathe out. Switching sides, reach the right arm up. Inhale. Exhale. And release your right hand down to the ground. Good. Inhale, find one more extension, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sit your hips back and down into chair pose, Utkatasana, and really feel that width in the base of your feet, clawing down, gripping in, pulling up from the floor, and lift out through the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Interlace your hands behind your backs, but keep your shoulders aligned. Interlace your fingers, have your thumb and pointer fingers free, Shiva Mudra. Reach your arms back, point your fingers back, lift out through your sternum a little bit more. Exhale, bow and fold, keep your arms down. Release your hands down to your feet. Lift one foot at a time and take your feet over the palms of the hands, or Padangusthasana, finding gorilla pose. Bend your knees and send your hips back and up. Tip the tailbone back and the pelvis forwards. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Release your hands from your feet and take your hands to your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. Ragdoll your spine up one vertebra at a time. Hollow the front body to the back as much as you can. Use your abdominal strength to roll up for 5. For 4. 3. 2. Or 1. Shoulders settle down the back. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Touch your palms like up to the ceiling, root to rise. Exhale, sit back into chair position, Utkatasana. Lift your heels off the mat, balance on the balls of your feet, sit down more into your sitting bones as you lift up to the crown of your head. Feel the inner thighs engage and the outer glutes light up. Lower 1 inch, breathe in. Exhale, lift up. Grab those seat muscles, inhale. Contract and lift. Lower. And lift. Inhale. And lift. Lower. And lift. As you exhale, bring the arms out wide, stick the heels down, and fold over your legs. Cup your palms around your calf muscles, hug your elbows in, and fold a little bit further into your forward fold. Place your palms down in front of your feet. Step your feet back to your hands and your knees, tabletop position. Grab your blocks and place your blocks on either side of the front of your mat. Then you can take your chip foam block somewhere nearby on the left as well, and have a bolster onto the right if you would like to use a bolster at all. Okay, from here, have your hips over your knees and your hands in front of you under the shoulders. And then from there, you know what, I'm actually going to take my bolster, place my knees on top. I've had my knees because I got some knee injuries going on in general. And then I place my hands on the blocks so that way it's a modified and more accessible version of tabletop. Roll your shoulders together a little bit more in your back, bending the elbows so they don't lock. And then tuck and spread the toes wider. From there, send your hips back gently to spread the sit bones apart. And then use that as you reach your hips back, your chest reaches forward and through into cow. Exhale, round your spine to cat. Nice and strong abdominal connection here. Inhale, reach those hips back and the sternum forward. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Go from side to side, push your left wrist forward and pull your right wrist back in opposition. Use that traction to turn over to your left and find a strengthening of your obliques, sides of your waist. Inhale to center, over to the right. Inhale one more time to the left. Exhale, contract. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Good. Inhale, center. And then exhale, finding your knees wide, big toes together into a modified higher child's pose. Walk the blocks forward, bring your elbows and wrists down. And then from there, reach your hips back and breathing now into your lats and your sides of your waist. Breathe in. And out. If you have any neck or upper spinal injuries, keep your head maybe a little bit higher, or you can always bring your forehead on a block or additional supports. Inhale. And sigh. One more breath here, keeping those shoulders engaged. And then walk your blocks back underneath your shoulder height and come back up to your hands and your knees. Good. From there, we'll bring our weight into our left knee and bring our right knee out to the side. Okay, so like you're a dog in a fire hydrant. So we're bringing our right knee up into external rotation for the right hip. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the right knee in towards the left knee. Breathe in. Exhale, reach the right leg up. Inhale, bring it in. Exhale, out. Good, and bring the right knee down. This time, bring the left knee out to the side. Inhale. Keep that opening in the back body, open up to the left. And down. Two more. And down. Last one. And down. Good. Let your hips rock back and around a couple times in either direction, lubricating the pelvis and lower back. Okay, and then from there, Keeping your weight into your blocks and your knees on your bolster. Left toes tucked, reach the right leg back. From there, go ahead and start to bring the right heel up to the ceiling, flexing your foot like you're going to raise the roof. Breathe, inhale, exhale, firm the front of the torso. Inhale, and as you exhale, go ahead and just start to pulse that right leg up. Engage the glutes. Lift up higher. Last two. Last one. Now extend your right leg out behind you. We'll take 5 hamstring curls. Point your toes, breathe in. Exhale, curl. Squeeze the leg. Inhale, open. Keep the ribs engaged. Exhale, close. Good. 2 more. One more. Keep your low ribs in. Try not to duck and collapse your low back. Come on back. Now from there, take your right leg across to the left side and tuck your right toes. Slide your right foot out to the side, and then you can start to bring your hips back towards your heel and start to negotiate around that left hip. Careful with your left knee, of course, as you breathe into your left outer thigh. Bring the right leg back and around and to the bolster. Good. From there, shake out the left leg. And then bring the left leg back, and we'll do that little series on the left side. So have your right toes tucked underneath you for support. Reach your left leg back. Okay. From there, go ahead and, what was I doing? There we go. Bend your left knee. Flex the sole of your left foot up to the ceiling, keeping your hips stable. Good. From there, keep your abdominals firm, contracting through your pelvic floor, perineum muscles, anything around the glutes, and kick up for 5. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Nice. And then we'll bring the left leg out, straighten the left leg. Exhale, point the toes and curl in. Inhale. And exhale. And this might be a lot on that hand, so you can come onto the forearms, but make sure you keep centered in through your weight distribution. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, curl. 1 more. And exhale. Bring the left leg over to the right, tucking the toes, and then you can bring your hips back, slightly behind you, and then start to explore around the right hip, breathing into the right glute. Inhale, press back, bring the left knee back to the bolster, and then from there, bringing your elbows and forearms on the blocks, keep your knees wide, big toes together, coming into child's pose. Now the head is lifted here, so if you want, you can always take your thumb knuckles and palms together and rest your forehead on your thumb knuckles, and we'll be here just for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Come forward to your hands and your knees again. Place your fingertips to face towards your knees and your wrists to face the front, still on the blocks, coming into a modified wrist release here. Hastasana, hand pose. From there, you can start to bring your bum more towards your heels and lift your heels of your hands off the blocks. So continue pressing down through your fingers and finger pads, mounds to knuckles. And bring your hips back to your heels if they permit as you inhale, reach into the breath into the lungs. Exhale out the mouth. Great. Come back onto your wrists. Let one come off at a time, releasing and bringing the blood flow back. And then take the tops of your hands down on the blocks, palms facing up, looking at your palms for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and shake out the wrists like that. We'll come into some modified push-ups here, into more of a scapula blade push-up. So I like to bring the knees together for this one and across the ankles, and come forward into my modified plank. Keep firming into those abdominal muscles and ribs in, shoulders slightly back and elbows slightly bent. As you come forward, look somewhere out on the floor in front of you, maybe about 6 feet, something like that. And then from there, bend your elbows, and as you inhale, breathe into your upper back. As you exhale, squeeze an imaginary pencil between your shoulder blades as the elbows come back and you squeeze in, lower a few inches. Inhale, press up. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, pull the elbows back and bring the shoulder blades together. Inhale and round. Once more, come forward. Exhale, curl in, bring the shoulders together. Press up. Exhale, round. Good. Bring your knees back. Take your blocks now on their highest setting. Okay, so now you're a little bit higher. From here, start to bring your right leg back. Shift your weight into your palms, spread those fingers nice and wide, and step your right foot to your right thumb. So you're now in a modified lunge. As you come to your modified lunge, scoot your right foot a bit more forward and the left a little bit more back. Tuck the left toes as you push the left toes back, and take your right hip back as your left hip comes forward. Keep the connection into the feet and into the hands as you hug the inner thighs together. Use that inner thigh connection to sit deeper into your hips and lift more, lengthening into the left thigh. Now you can stay here and keep your left knee down. Another option is to lift the left knee off the bolster and breathe in. As you breathe out, very slowly lower that left knee down, so it's like it's going to touch the bolster. And then lift it back up. And lower. Lift. Keep pushing back through your left ball of your foot and lower. Inhale, lift. Staying off of your bolster, or keep your left knee on your bolster, we'll come into our lunge position once again. Your hands can stay on your blocks, or your hands can come onto your right thigh. Hug your shoulders in to lift the chest up a little bit higher, and take your left hand on your belly just to continue that idea of contracting into the abdominals and the ribs and lengthening out through the crown of your head. Sit more into your right thigh and hug those legs in still. As you hug your legs in, push your feet apart. Now sit down more into those feet. And reach the arms out any amount. Keep the arms relaxed. And then you can choose to bring any amount of an extension or directional length to your arms, or keep the arms down by your sides. That's fine too. Continue lengthening up as you inhale into your rib cage. As you exhale, fold and hinge from your hips. Keep that bend in the knees, finding a little bit of a rounded shape here. Breathe into your back. Inhale, stabilize, lift your sternum forward and come up. Exhale, come back and round. Inhale. One more time and round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, place your palms down to your blocks. Reach your right arm to the right and open up. Twist around your abdominals and your axis of your spine. Exhale, release your right hand down to your block. Lower your left knee down to your bolster. Walk your right foot in between your blocks and forward, and walk your blocks more down underneath your shoulder height. Lift your right toes off the ground as you send your hips back, and lift your sternum up and through, coming into half splits position. Inhale. And exhale. Shift your right heel back so you can bring your knee into your lunge position once again. Now bring your right leg back and just give it a gentle shake. Let it absorb and integrate all that work. Bring your right knee back to your bolster. Take your hands on the second height of your blocks. Okay, from there with your toes tucked, inhale, come forward into your modified plank. Exhale, find your scapular push-up. Take the tops of your feet down, inhale into a modified cobra up dog. Exhale back to tabletop position and round your spine. Good, shift your weight into your right knee and step your left foot forward. Take your blocks back on their highest set. As you sit more into your left thigh, you can scoot your right knee a little bit further back on the bolster and sit more into your left hip and you lift up to the crown of the head. Imagine that you're pressing back through your right toe so much that it extends out through the crown of your head more. So you can stay here, that's one option. Another option, lift your right knee off the ground. Okay, sit more to your left thigh. Push off your toes more. You can walk your blocks further in front of you as well to keep lifting out through your chest, pulling the wrists, actively pull the wrists back as you continue lifting out through the crown of your head. Inhale. As you exhale, lower the right knee down momentarily. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And lower. Two more. Keep squeezing the midline. Lift them through the pelvic floor. Inhale, lift your right knee. Take your hands now, if you like, on top of your left thigh, finding your lunge position. From there, lift up more through the crown of your head, firming your belly, roll up. like to bring the arms up. You might walk your right foot up a little bit to find a bit more stability. That's really going to work into the quads here, into the legs, hugging those legs in, gather in the pelvic floor again, keep knitting those ribs in, breathe in. Sit more into your left thigh. Good, and we'll take a few more of those round and curl in. Breathe in. Exhale, lean forward and pull your ribs back. Inhale up. Keep that back leg strong as you start to round in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Round in. Inhale one more time. Exhale, place the palms down. Using your right hand to stabilize and strengthen, and roll that right shoulder back. Reach your left arm forward and up as you twist to the left. Inhale, release. Exhale, bring your right knee down. Take a moment, breathe. Good, now walk your left foot in between the palms. Walk your blocks back so they're more aligned with your shoulders. And shift your weight back. Push your toes back as you push your left heel forward and flex and flare those left toes actively. Wake up the back of the left leg, hamstrings and calves. Right up into the sit bone. Inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Inhale, come forward into your lunge. Now as you exhale, bring your left leg back. Knee to bolster. Turn your blocks down on their second height. Then we'll inhale and come forward into that modified plank. Exhale, lower down into that modified low push-up. Lift up, inhale into Cobra Up Dog. Exhale, come back into that wide knee supported child's pose, but this time bring your blocks underneath your forehead, stacking both on top of each other so it's nice and gentle and supported for the neck. Breathe into your back rib cage. Sigh out the mouth. Okay, keep one of your blocks there. Inhale, reach your right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, thread your right arm under your left arm. Come forward now. You might take that single block on its second height, and then finding your way into a stretch for your shoulder. Try to bring the shoulder on the ground. If it cannot touch the ground, Take that block you just took away, add it, reposition the arm, and bring the floor up to your upper right shoulder, head, and arm. So you're coming into the delt and the tricep by using the block to support it. Tent your left fingertips in front of you and breathe into your right shoulder and arm. Inhale, carefully bring your right arm out and up. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Good. Inhale, reach your left arm up. Exhale, thread your left arm underneath into the right. Again, that block can support that left upper arm, tricep and deltoid. Bringing the right elbow forward, tenting the right fingertips, and then from there, start to breathe into that left shoulder, upper arm. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, release your hand. Great. From there, take your blocks off to the sides. Shift your weight now onto your seat. As you shift your weight out into your seat, you can take your legs out in front. As you take your legs out in front of you, have the feet come together and the knees wide. Bring your blocks beneath your knees for butterfly position, Baddha Konasana. Take your hands around your feet as you lift up. And exhale, bow forward and fold. Inhale. And exhale. You can add your chip foam block as an additional support for the forehead if you like, as you start to settle in here. And then inhale, press down through your sitting bones and help yourself up through your palms. Rolling the chest up, spine up to neutral spine. Good. From there, roll your shoulders back a few times. And then roll the shoulders forwards. Cross your ankles, taking your blocks still beneath your knees. We'll take a very gentle twist over to the left by placing the right hand on the left knee and taking the left hand behind. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, twisting around to the left. Contract your pelvic floor again, keep the strengthening into the base of the spine, lift up to the crown of the head. Inhale again. round to the left. Come back to center, counter twist, left hand to your left thigh, right hand behind you. Inhale, lengthen. Counter twist over to the right. Then take your left hand to your right thigh, knee, and your right fingertips lift up. Exhale, round to the right. Inhale, lengthen one more time. Exhale, twist. Come back to center. Place your right hand on your right thigh, tent the left fingertips, and open to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, place your palms down. Sitting up tall, close your eyes for a moment and just sit in meditation and feel all the sensations that are happening in the body at this moment. Soften the face and the jaw and the eyes. One more breath here. The eyes blink open. Take your foam blocks off to either side within reach and slide off of your bolster here and take your bolster off to the side. Pressing down through your feet, take one of your blocks now in between your inner thighs, squeezing those thighs into the block to hug the midline. Hollow your belly out and reach your arms out in front of you. Slowly rolling down as slow as you can, keeping those feet active, toes active. Breathe in. Exhale, roll back, push your heels forward, engage your abdominals, look forward. And roll the way down to the ground. Good. Bend your elbows once you arrive, take your feet in towards your bum. Squeeze the block between the inner thighs, and you might take it up slightly higher or keep it a little bit lower, but just not pressing into the knees wherever it chooses to go. From there, plant your palms down on either side, spread the fingers wide, and we'll come to bridge. Inhale. Exhale. Imprint the spine. And then inhale, lift. Active through the feet. Press down, lift up, engage those legs, squeeze the block. One more breath like this. Slowly lower down, one vertebra at a time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 4, 1. Nice. And then from there, go ahead and take your block off to the side. Let your feet and your knees windshield wiper from side to side. And the head might turn the opposite direction of the knees if you like. And then locate your bolster. Take the bolster for a second underneath the thighs and then press the feet down to lift your hips up and take the bolster beneath the flesh of your glutes so it's below the sacrum. Extend your legs out long and point your toes and reach your arms up as the shoulders come down the back and extend out long through the fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out. In. And out. And then bend the knees. Bring the arms back down to normal. Lift your hips up and take your bolster underneath your sacrum. Good. And then from there, notice how the pelvis can tip back and have a bit of support in supported bridge. From here, pick your right knee up and towards your chest and hug your right thigh in towards your body. Inhale. Let it come in a little bit more. Roll your right ankle around in both directions. And then turn your right knee out, place the outer edge of your right foot on your left thigh above your knee. Lift your left foot off the ground and interlace your hands either around your left hamstring or around the left shin below the knee. Inhaling here. And exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling, breathing into your right thigh, back of the right leg. Feel the external hip opening of the right leg and thigh. Breathe in. Every exhale, soothing. And then carefully take your right leg out, shake it out for a sec. And place your right foot down on the mat and hug your left thigh in. Breathe in deeply. Sigh even more. Roll the left ankle around. Breathe in again. And then cross the left outer edge of the foot on the right thigh above the knee. Lift the right leg off the ground. Finding the grip around the front or back of the right leg that works for your shoulders and your hips. And then Gently press and resist the feet and thigh against another. Breathe into your left outer hip. Watchful of the left knee. If it feels too much in the left knee, bring the left ankle a bit more on top of the thigh instead of the edge of the foot. Give your hips more space. Just be conscious of your left ankle so you don't press too hard into it. Inhale to your rib cage and lungs. Now from there, let both legs come up towards the ceiling. Let both the arms come up towards the ceiling. Let everything begin to integrate and drain from the extremities into the center. Let your shoulders become heavy, your pelvis become heavy. Everything receiving what you've given. Yourself with feelings and sensations in your body beyond the physical, anatomical body. Your consciousness. Begin to roll the wrists and ankles in both directions. Carefully, the next 10, bring the knees into the chest for 10, 9, 8, 7, the legs and feet start to drape a little bit, 6, 5, the shins start to become parallel at this point, for 4, 3, thighs come closer to you for 2, everything coming in gently for 1, and then for 5, each leg, lower the right foot down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and feel the right big toe, second toe, middle toe, fourth toe, baby toe, and heel touch the ground as separately as they can. And then the left leg coming down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feeling the left big toe and each toe following. And then the heel. toes and heels on the ground. Lift your hips with little strength in the feet, but bring the bolster now beneath the knees. And send your legs out for Shavasana, at which point, if you have an eye pillow, take the eye pillow over top. If you have a blanket or anything to cover yourself with, you can take that as well. back into a deeper breath, filling up the entire body. Making subtle movements with the hands and the feet. Inhale, reach the arms softly overhead, pointing the toes. Bend your knees, placing your feet down. And then roll over to your left side and catch your head in your left arm, a little pillow. Press your right hand and then your left hand down to come up to a seated position on your bolster, your blocks, and find a brief closing meditation. Noticing the tip of your pelvis forward and the lengthening of the tailbone behind. Gathering of the belly and the ribs, pulling them back to lift the upper back behind. Lift the chin, find that curvature in the back of the neck. Bringing down through your sitting bones, lengthen out through the crown of your head in all directions. Take your hands to heart center, breathe into your upper body. One more breath. We'll take the sound of Om to close the practice. Bow your chin to your heart in gratitude for the body, the mind, the heart, and the spirit. Never taking them for granted. Each day and breath and practice is a gift. Namaste.